It is a cold, crisp morning on October 10th, 1943. Pilot Robert Rosie Rosenthal arrives at the day's briefing, joining 60 men from the legendary 100th Bomb Group. By his side are co-pilot Winifred "Pappy" Lewis and navigator Ronald Bailey. "All right, let's get this over with," begins the briefing officer. "Your target today is Münster. Our aim point isn't a factory this time. It's the old town Cathedral." A wave of shocked murmurs spreads through the room. Lewis and Bailey exchange stunned looks. Yet, toward the front, Major John Egan, the group leader, cheers the news. Many of these men, including Egan, have lost close friends on previous raids. The raw pain of loss means that, for some, this mission feels like rightful revenge. The intelligence report is grim. Over 500 German fighters are ready to intercept, and flak over the target will be extremely heavy. Rosenthal's bomber, the Royal Flush, takes up its position at the very back of the formation, a position everyone knows is particularly exposed and dangerous. One by one, the B-17s rise. They are part of a massive 274 bomber armada, and they are supposed to have 216 P-47 Thunderbolt escorts to protect them from Holland onward. The armada flies over Holland and deep into Germany, crossing definitively into enemy territory. Soon, a chilling realization settles over the formation. "Where's our fighters?" Gunners scan the skies. "Negative," comes the report. "Nothing on our 6. "They aren't coming, are they?" Unbeknownst to the crews, the escorts aren't just late. They couldn't take off at all due to poor weather back at base. Their absence leaves the colossal bomber formation devastatingly vulnerable. Isolated attacks from German fighters begin immediately, claiming a handful of B-17s further up the line. "Keep your eyes peeled, everyone." Then the sky darkens. A cloud of fighters appears in the distance. The interceptors have arrived. "Good luck. I'll see you all in a couple of hours," Major Egan radios, a promise that feels heavy with dread. A swarm of Me-109s and FW-190s tears into the formation. The fortress's guns roar, filling the air with tracers while the deadly 20mm cannons of the German fighters chew through armor. Then, Me-110s sweep in from the rear, firing rockets. The sky becomes a confusing metal-shredding mess. A rocket strikes the lead B-17 of the 100th, Major Egan's Mull Zigzag. 2 engines are lost, and a gaping gash appears in the fuselage. "Damn it, we're losing power," Egan yells. His struggling bomber cannot keep up. As the gap widens, the bombers directly behind slow down to maintain formation, triggering a catastrophic chain reaction of deceleration. Confusion spreads quickly. "We are falling behind. Why?" "We're getting dangerously isolated. Speed up." Pilots are forced into an impossible decision: stay with their small, slowing formation, or break off and race for the larger, safer group. 2 B-17s choose safety, gunning their throttles and racing across the deadly gap. But Rosenthal and Lewis, all the way at the exposed tail in the Royal Flush, decide to stay. "If we brave the gap, every German is going to fall on us," they realize. The Germans, instantly noticing the isolated group of 11 B-17s, pounce. Damage builds rapidly. The overwhelmed gunners watch helplessly as an FW-190 sweeps in and strikes a compatriot's wing, triggering a massive fireball. Their friends bail out just before the bomber explodes into a million pieces. Soon after, a second B-17 catches fire from multiple 20mm hits. "We're dropping like flies!" Another B-17, fearing the inevitable flak, turns away, heading for home, only to be instantly swarmed and torn to shreds by chasing fighters. Before we continue with the fate of the remaining bombers over Münster, please take a moment to hit the like button below. Your support helps us share these incredible stories of WWII courage and sacrifice. If this dramatic history is compelling, please subscribe and leave a comment sharing your thoughts on the incredible pressure these bomber crews faced. The fighters turn their relentless attention to Major Egan's lead bomber. Critical systems fail one after the other. Realizing they are done for, Egan orders his crew to bail out. His co-pilot stays just long enough to help keep the aircraft steady for the men before finally jumping. Egan and pilot John Brady move to the bomb bay. "I'll be seeing you, Brady," Egan says, jumping first just as a fighter opens fire, peppering the bomb bay door with new holes. Both make it out. Back with the Royal Flush, Rosenthal and Lewis fight the urge to run, holding position as they watch the others fall. A fighter lines up on the Royal Flush, firing a flurry of rockets. One strikes the wing, punching a massive hole and instantly taking out 2 engines. "Feathering," Lewis calls out. "Bailey, how far to the target?" Rosenthal demands. "Just a little more, we're almost there." The fighters turn away, fully aware of what the B-17s are flying toward. The tornado of fighters gives way to a flurry of flak. With the rest of the formation gone, every anti-aircraft gun in Münster is now focused on the 3 remaining bombers. One bomber is set on fire and drops its bombs early before its crew bails out. The second to last B-17 is struck directly and bursts into a ball of flame, disintegrating on its fall. The Royal Flush is the last one standing. "We are here." Rosenthal hands control to the bombardier. "Bomb bay doors open." The aim point approaches agonizingly slowly. "Bombs out, pilot! The plane is all yours!" Rosenthal immediately retakes control, throwing the crippled B-17 into evasive maneuvers to escape the shrapnel-shredded airspace. "Bandits, 6 o'clock!" Multiple German aircraft appear from the clouds. The Royal Flush is alone, a sitting duck. In desperation, Rosenthal throws all bomber piloting wisdom out the window, breaking into wild evasive maneuvers. 4 FW-190s line up on the Royal Flush's tail. Rear gunner Sergeant Bill DeBlasio aims at the second from the left and fires. He scores a critical hit, shearing its left wing off and making it crash into its wingman, taking both aircraft out of the sky. DeBlasio instantly switches targets, striking the next fighter on the engine. The last fighter peels away, fleeing DeBlasio's deadly aim. But 6 more line up. DeBlasio opens fire as the twin-engine fighters unleash their rockets, which miraculously miss the B-17. He fires back, setting one fighter alight. The rest open fire, unleashing a storm of lead that explodes against and punches through the bomber's fuselage. 2 waist gunners are struck by shrapnel and scream for help over the radio. DeBlasio, fire in his eyes, changes from target to target, his bullets impacting 2 more FW-190s and sending them spiraling into one another. Then, as suddenly as they came, the remaining German fighters turn away, limited by fuel. The skies fall silent. The Royal Flush is somehow still in the air. Radio operator Michael Bacuzzi rushes back to the waist to tend to the wounded gunners. "Hang on, man, I've got you! Talk to me, Schaffer. You'll be okay, I promise." Losing altitude and struggling, Rosenthal orders everything jettisoned. Guns, ammo, oxygen tanks, everything that isn't bolted down goes overboard. "We ditched everything," Lewis confirms. "Is it enough, Rosie?" "I don't know, Pappy. Maybe." Back at Thorpe Abbott's, mechanics and officers anxiously watch the empty skies. The scheduled arrival time has passed. Then, low over the horizon, a single B-17 appears. Smoking and barely flying, the Royal Flush drifts in, lowers its gear, and touches down. The badly wounded aircraft rolls to a stop and cuts its engines. The silence is deafening. They are the only ones from the 100th Bomb Group to return. The raid was one of the worst disasters in the 8th Air Force's history. The 100th Bomb Group suffered the most catastrophic losses, instantly earning it the infamous nickname, the Bloody Hundredth. Of the 130 men who went down, 37 were killed and 93 became prisoners of war. Rosenthal and his crew had accomplished the impossible. Thank you for following this intense and tragic story of the Bloody Hundredth. If you were moved by the courage of Rosenthal and his crew, please make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe for more true stories from WWII and let us know in the comments. What do you think was the most heroic single action of the Royal Flush crew?